Hi, this is Charlie from Path of the Bee. So this spring when school got out, I went on a road trip. I drove around America and traded around some of my shaker tables for different people to take a look at and get me some feedback. I stopped in and visited with my friend Romas in California and his YouTube channel, My Adventure. And he asked me if I could build him a ball mill, just a small one, something so he could do tests on some of the gold veins that he's been looking at. So I built him this. I came back and I've been working on this fall on the little bit of free time that I do have. And so also while I was gone on that trip, I stopped in and visited with James Culver, and I lent him one of my shaker tables, and he was generous enough to give me a small bag of ore that he got out of one of his gold mines. It'd been roasted, and so I ran that through my my jaw crusher here a couple times yesterday, and I have it in a bucket. It's pretty fine now. It's ready to go in the ball mill. So I'm going to do that, get it loaded up, and kind of show you how the ball mill works. So what I have here are a couple of, I have a 20 mesh and a 30 mesh screen here, and I'll go ahead and run this stuff. I've got it pretty well beat up pretty good. We'll run it through the coarser one, and we'll get some of this bigger material out of here so we can put it in the ball mill. That looks like a good amount. Take my little jug here. And we'll load this up. I almost need to create a funnel, don't I? Okay, so I got a sandbag here, and I'm just gonna cut the corner out of it. So there's an opening there. I'll put that down in my ball mill, and then I can a lot more easily pour this material in here. All right. Okay, I have a charge loaded here in the material that needs crushed in the drum, and I found that these 2.5-inch balls, I ordered these from a mining supply company out of Sparks, Nevada, and I put 5 of them in here, and that seems to work pretty good to crush the material. Okay, so this is a 12-volt setup I have here, and I have an inverter that I can run it off a Milwaukee battery or cordless drill battery. And once I apply power to this, I have a low voltage safety switch in here, and it takes a minute to reset. So it'll take a minute before this will turn on. And then once it does, then I can go ahead and start tumbling. The reason for that is when the voltage starts to get low, this little DC motor, we don't want to put low voltage in it. It would burn it up. So I have it turn off when it gets too low to operate. Okay, this control is really simple. It's just a potentiometer and a voltmeter, and it'll go up to however many volts. I've timed this. The way it works appears to be the proper, based on the diameter of the cylinder and the recommended RPM from the big boys that use ball mills all the time. This should turn about 50 RPM is what's recommended, and I find that is right about 18 or 18.5 volts on the ball mill here. And so when it starts to work, here we go. You can start off slow. Okay, so I'm using a 3 amp hour battery here. What I've discovered is that if I turn this up and just let it run and walk away and don't listen to the incredibly loud banging that it's making, it'll run about 20 minutes and shut off. and that appears to do a really good job. That 3 amp hour battery will run for, like I said, run this ball mill for 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let this thing run, and then we'll screen out the material inside, see how fine it crushed it. So, all right, I'll get this going then. Okay, so I've ran this for a while. I got my heat gun out and checked my little 12-volt motor here, 24 volt, and it's right up in the dangerous temperature zone. I ran it for almost an hour, I guess, and it's up over 100 C, and they probably shouldn't run that hot. So I spent some time digging on the internet and ordered me up a bigger motor. We'll see if we can get this thing up and running. I've got this crushed down to just this little bit left. That's a little, oversized, and we're almost ready to dig in it and see what it looks like. So anyways, I thought I'd let you know what I'm working on. So anyways, this little ball mill works pretty good. Like I said, I'll go ahead and update that motor to something a little more productive and see if we can get some more usefulness out of it. I'd like to be able to hook it up to big batteries and run it a longer time. Like I said, 15 or 20 minutes out of a 3 amp hour battery, and then if I gotta let it cool down, that'd work good for a while. But I'm obviously stressing this little motor out, so we will go ahead and see what we can find. All right, well, that's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.